One thing I did forget to mention last time about Pokemon Go Fest, I got a level 1 Empoleon off of the incense. I got a level 1 Empoleon off of the incense, and here he is, right here. My level 1 G Empoleon. Level 1. I think it's kind of awesome that you can get level 1 Pokemon in Pokemon Go that just should not be level 1. That you cannot get level 1. You know, it's not hacked. It's not illegal. It's legitimate. A level 1 Empoleon. So I completely forgot to mention I got that last time as a part of Go Fest as well. So a quick little update to my Diamond progress. I haven't made any progress whatsoever. I'm actually still in the same spot, but I did decide to go out, catch another team member, and level it up to match the rest of our team members' levels. And here's my team right now. No surprise, it's Roselia once again. I'll need to get the shiny stone eventually, wherever that is. Isn't it in, like, the Victory Road area? And as you could see, my entire team is now level 45. And when I tell you I haven't made any progress, I'm not kidding. I'm still here at Celestic Town. I haven't progressed yet. I haven't spoken to Cynthia's grandmother yet. Last time, or not exactly last time, previously I said I was going to grind until at least like level 40, level 41, whatever I said. And here I am grinding until level 45. Like I said, I decided to go out, catch a Roselia, and when I caught it, it was like level 20 something. So I had to grind and level it up to match the rest of our team. And of course, I couldn't immediately just send out Roselia to battle wild Pokemon because it would immediately get smoked. So I had to do the swap option. That way 2 Pokemon gets experience and Roselia slowly gains levels. By the time I was done, my whole team was like level 43. And then I figured, why not just go to level 45? Why not? So, my team is now level 45. Before, how many gym badges am I in? Currently at this point in the game, I am 4 gym badges in. I have 32 and a half hours. Oh, you know what? I just noticed this. So, date started 2001. That's not right. Okay, so it's a good thing I saw that. Now I need to go and change the date on my DSi. It's been a couple years since I used my DSi. 2001. The game wasn't even out in 2001. Please, please, please let this Heatran just be shiny so I can move on. I have so many more to hunt after this. Alright, so anyways, today we have 4 episodes worth of things to talk about. And I gotta say, everything today was pretty good. Well, good as far as you can say. Good for the most part. Because today I have Ironheart episode 3 to talk about. I wouldn't say it's good, but it's the best episode so far. However, that's not a high bar to cross. You know, if I were to give the first 2 episodes like a 2 or 3 out of 10, I would give this one like a 4 out of 10. It's better than the previous 2 episodes, but the show overall is still not good. So, you know, as good as it gets when I say that everything today was good. So, Ironheart episode 3, the best episode so far. Once again, it's not a high bar to cross. Squid Game season 3 episode 2, an actually really good episode in my opinion. And then I also have the season finale to Gen V, as well as The Boys Presents Diabolical. Both of these episodes were actually pretty good. Before I talk about those episodes, a little bit of Pokemon Go news I want to just yap about. Not like anybody cares. So it has been announced that they will be adding a brand new Pokemon to the game. One that I'm a little surprised that they're adding in now. I really thought they would hold off on this particular one. So, the Pokemon Honedge is making its debut in Pokemon Go. Honedge, Doublade, Aegislash, they're all making their debut into Pokemon Go. I know Eternal Radiant is thrilled. I really thought they would hold off on Honedge. Just because, well, Honedge is, I believe, the very last Gen 6 Pokemon to make its way into Pokemon Go. And next year will be Kalos Tour. We had Unova Tour earlier this year and it sucked. But still, continuing the trend, Kalos Tour should be next year. So I really thought they would save Honedge for Kalos Tour. Make it like the mascot. You know, the big selling point of Kalos Tour. Ooh, look, the final Gen 6 Pokemon is finally making its long-awaited debut during the Kalos Tour. Honedge. But Honedge, we're getting it, not right now, but soon. Little bit from now, maybe like a couple weeks from now. But it's just Honedge, you know? No shiny, which is a bit of a shame. I'm going to assume the shiny will release with Kalos Tour. I want that shiny. Those red swords look amazing. I actually prefer shiny Honedge and Doublade more than shiny Aegislash. People always question Ash why he never evolves his Pokemon fully. Well, if I had a shiny Honedge, yeah, I would do the same and not evolve it fully. So yes, Honedge is making its debut into Pokemon Go. And also, we got the Water Festival coming up soon, which is good for me, because I still have that research task that is like catch 15 water Pokemon while, I think, in a party. So I still need to do that. And during the Water Festival, we will have higher chances to encounter shiny, I believe, Staryu and Tirtuga. Now, when I heard this, I'm just like, oh, god damn it, of course this would happen now. Because, right now, I'm actually in the process of best buddying my shiny Tirtuga in Pokemon Go. And then for them to announce that you can potentially get another shiny Tirtuga because it's going to have higher shiny odds, I'm just like, oh, damn it. Why am I best buddying a shiny Tirtuga? It's not because I love the Pokemon, but it's because the shiny looks amazing. That turquoise color is beautiful. So that's why I'm best buddying it. That, and I only have the one shiny, and it's a rather rare shiny. So you love the shiny? Yeah, I guess you could say that. But yeah, the fact that I only have one shiny Tirtouga, it's actually quite a rare shiny. So I'm best buddying it, and then for them to just be like, by the way, you have a higher chance of getting another one shiny. It's like, well, damn, that kind of devalues the one I already have. Also, Tatsugiri will be making its way into Pokemon Go. They cannot be shiny, so don't bother raiding your hearts out unless you desperately want that hundo. Me personally, I'm just gonna go for one and only one. Unless, you know, Okay, let me say this one first. So coming up in Pokemon Go, there will be unknown U in 1-star raids with higher chances of it being shiny. If I'm not mistaken, the chances of not 5-star raids shiny odds are 1 in 64, while 5-star raids are 1 in 20. So 1 in 64, it's a lot lower than you think, especially when it comes to raids. So when it comes to 1-star raids, unknown U having a higher shiny odd, that's pretty good. Better than 1 in 64, that's already really good. However, I'm not going to raid my heart out. I'm not going to spend money and use any remote raids on it. I mean, I'll do it if I find a raid in person. Of course, I would love a shiny unknown U, just to say I have one. But I'm not going to spend money and go crazy until I get it. And, well, that's exactly the case for the Tatsugiri. The 3 forms are regionals. I'm only going to do one remote raid, and that's for, I believe, the curly form, which is the orange one. I'm only going to do for that one. That way, that's the one I want to send over to Pokemon Home. So yeah, I'm not going to spend money and remote raid it. Once again, if I see a raid in person, then I'll do it, but I'm not going to spend money to do it. Pokemon Go, y'all! So I decided what I'm going to watch for the next group of shows I will break down and discuss. Obviously, now that I'm done Gen V and The Boys Diabolical, obviously I'm going to watch Season 4 of The Boys. This has been the season I've been waiting to watch for years. Ever since Jeffrey Dean Morgan was announced to be in Season 4, this has been the season I wanted to watch, just for him. So after 3 long seasons, after an entire spin-off, I get to watch Season 4. I'm going to jump right in, and I'm going to bask in the glory that is Jeffrey Dean Morgan's acting. Now, I am a little bit hesitant, because I do know that Season 4 is the lowest rated season thus far. And I heard online that it's because people are saying the season has gone woke. So, I shall see. I shall see just how woke they made it. Alright, so aside from The Boys, there's another show whose second season I have yet to watch. So up next, alongside The Boys Season 4, I will also be watching and discussing Arcane Season 2. It's been a long time coming. How many months has it been since I've seen Season 1? I think it's a good time to start watching Season 2. So those 2 shows, on top of the fact that I still have Ironheart, as well as Squid Game to break down. And then there's a handful of other shows coming out in a couple months. We have Peacemaker Season 2, we have Daryl Dixon Season 3, A lot of good shit. At least I hope it's good, you know? You never know, you could have a bad season. Just look at the Flash. Anyways. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and discuss these shows. Unless the Shiny would like to very kindly cut me off as I discuss these episodes. Let me drink some water real quick. Oh, right. Right now in Pokemon Go is the 9th anniversary. Can you believe that? 9 years of Pokemon Go. I did stop playing at one point, but then I came back to playing. And I've been addicted to it ever since. Hello there, Lord West. 9 years of Pokemon Go. So right now is the 9th anniversary of Pokemon Go. And I've gotten my hands on, I believe, 3 shiny Gimme Ghouls. No, 4. 4 shiny Gimme Ghouls. 2 just regular shinies and then 2 with the background. Which means it's the costume shiny Gimme Ghoul. Which sadly cannot be transferred to Pokemon Home. So if Pokemon Go ever dies, those 2 shiny Gimme Ghouls cannot be saved. They will go down with the ship. Heatran taking so long, it really is. Pokemon Sun has been a bitch to me. Pokemon Moon has been very kind to me when it comes to shinies, but Sun, it's really making me work for these shinies. Ugh. So I have been lucky enough to get my hands on a couple of shiny Gimme Ghouls so far. I actually got one through the timed research. So I was actually pretty lucky to get that one shiny. I plan to transfer at least one of my shiny Gimme Ghouls from Pokemon Go into Scarlet and Violet, because, you know, only way to get the roaming form Gimme Ghoul shiny into the game is Pokemon Go. Well, you can, after this, potentially go shiny hunt each new Mega. Oh no, I have another shiny hunt planned after this. Whenever this eternity-long hunt finishes. I already know what I want to shiny hunt next, which group of shinies I will hunt next. But I'ma leave it for a surprise. You shall see. Let's just say it will indeed involve a capture card. So at least no more garbage quality. You know, tomorrow night I'm going to be celebrating a friend's birthday. Which actually lines up pretty perfectly because I don't plan to play anything here tomorrow night. I didn't initially, and then my friends were planning to come over tomorrow night to celebrate his birthday, which works for me. Works out perfectly fine for me. His birthday is today, but these guys wanted to come over and celebrate tomorrow. Let me guess, Swords of Justice? Close, but no. I say close because they're in the same game, let's say that. It's in the same game, the same DLC. That should immediately give away what it is, because the only other DLC the Swords of Justice are in, they can't even be shiny locked. What? They can't even be shiny hunted because they're shiny locked. Tau Trio? No. It's not a grouping that you would know. Like, it's not a group. How do I say this? It's not a group of Pokemon that's already been established. Like, it's not gonna be Articuno, Zapdos, Moltres, like the 3 group like that. It's gonna be one from here, one from there. So it's a couple of different things. Weather Genies? No, I'm gonna hunt those here. When it's time. Whenever Heatran decides to shine. Alright, enough babbling. Let me talk about these episodes real quick, because we have a lot to discuss. I need to put on some music. Zacian, Zamazenta, and Eternatus, isn't it? Well, those can't even be shiny hunted. Like I said, it's not a grouping. So there's one from this group, one from that group, so it's completely messy. Unless you just, you know. Anyways, I'm just gonna jump right in. So let's talk about Ironheart real quick. Iron Trash. The show is still pretty awful. However, episode 3 has been the best episode so far. And like I said, that's not a very high bar to cross. Episodes 1 and 2 were pretty bad, so saying this one was the best so far doesn't put this one really that high up on a pedestal. Now, I have seen online, so the first 3 episodes came out, and then a week later, the last 3 episodes came out. So 1 week, the whole season, nay, the whole show is done. Cause I don't think this is getting a season 2. I really don't think this is gonna get a season 2. We didn't get a She-Hulk season 2, thank God for that. There actually was potential. At one point, we would have gotten a She-Hulk season 2, but you know what? Thank the lords that we did not get that. That's not the timeline we live in. So, with the last 3 episodes having released as of this moment, but I haven't watched them yet, I did indeed get spoiled that Mephisto is in the show, and he is indeed played by Sacha Baron Cohen. I know I butchered his name entirely last time. So yeah, Admiral General Aladdin is indeed playing Mephisto. You know what? You know what? It's a casting so goofy, I love it. I swear to you, once I'm done this show, once I'm done these episodes, I'm gonna tell you that Mephisto was the best part. Not Ironheart, you know, the main character of our own show. Mephisto will be the best part. It's a bit of a shame that an actor of this caliber is playing a character this big in a show this garbage. But, well, it is what it is. And I don't see any plans for Mephisto to return anytime soon. If he ever does, maybe in another Doctor Strange movie, but we'll see if and when that gets made. Because as of right now, it seems more likely that if Mephisto ever returns, it will be after Secret Wars and the potential soft reboot. Anyway, so Ironheart. Oh my god. We opened this episode with them making it rain. Uh-huh. They literally are dancing around with money bills raining down. How many people have you seen in real life actually celebrate by making it rain? Like, come on now. Whatever, they're celebrating their money, which, I kind of question, because, like, well, the Hood made that CEO lady sign that contract, but it's not like she's gonna be delivering you bags of cash. The money would be wired to you, I would assume, or directly deposited into the bank. So someone had to have gone to the bank and withdrawn all those bills just to make it rain. I suppose Parker does need to pay his crew, right? So he had to withdraw the cash. Unless he specifically asked to be given bags of cash. Whatever. So while they're celebrating, Clown actually managed to break into Parker's vault where he keeps his hood. So Clown wears the hood. Everyone's like, "Are you crazy? Parker will kill you." Clown's just like, "This cape feels weird." Riri wants to study the cape, see what's going on with it. Well, that's when John angrily comes over, slams Clown's head onto the table, which, while a bit deserved, may have been a little overkill, because she did break into her boss's vault and steal his article of clothing, like his main gimmick. Whatever, they have a group meeting, sorta. Parker tries to calm down his team. He's just like, "Go and spend frivolously. Enjoy your earnings, your money, because tonight we have another heist." And the heist tonight is a guy growing plants. A guy who has like an island of greenhouses and he's just growing plants. Their justification was that he is putting a bunch of other farms out of business. To each their own, I suppose. So, yeah. Riri actually asks to talk to Parker for a second, and even Parker's like, "I'm nothing without the hood." I don't know why you would admit that, but okay. Let's see. Riri goes back home, and Natalie actually has complete control of the suit. She can make the suit move on its own. I gotta say, the best compliment I can give this show is that the visuals are very well done. Not only with the practical suit, but also the CGI. I do kind of wonder, are they ever gonna paint the suit the pink color scheme that was in the comics? The color scheme we saw Ironheart with in Wakanda Forever wasn't exactly the colors she had in the comics. The comics had more of a pink and yellow, as opposed to now we just have a gray suit. And also the one in Wakanda Forever was red, just kind of like an Iron Man suit. So I wonder if we're ever gonna see the suit get painted the color scheme that, you know, it should be. Knowing these Disney Plus series, that'll probably happen at the very end. I mean, think about it. Every single Disney Plus series, the main character gets their comic book look right at the end. Hawkeye got his suit at the very end. Loki didn't put on his green uniform again until the very end. She-Hulk, while she hulked throughout the show, she didn't get her She-Hulk suit until the last episode. Or did she? Wait, no, she got it a couple before. Whatever. And then, you know, WandaVision. Wanda didn't completely dress up as Scarlet Witch until the very end. So we shall see. So Natalie is quite annoying. And so she makes Riri take her out to hang out. So they do exactly that. There's also this scene where Joe visits Riri's house looking for her. Riri's mom opens the door and she's just like, "Riri, why is there a middle-aged white man at my door?" It's like, what the hell kind of writing is that? What kind of dialogue is that? Can you imagine if the opposite were the case? Can you imagine if a white person opened the door is like, "Why is there a middle-aged black man at my door?" That's just not said. But I suppose that is the case all the time. The other way around. Right? Otherwise, why would the show have that kind of dialogue, No, you can't tell me that the show could potentially be misrepresenting. No. That would be absurd. Anyways, Joe went to go and try to find Riri. Now he has been inspired with a whole bunch of ideas like skin grafts and like an iron stomach that would make food poisoning a thing of the past. I mean, those are decent ideas. It's just we may not be there yet in terms of technology, but it's the MCU. So Riri's mom is like, how do you know this weird looking guy? And she's just like, we met at work. And Joe actually uses that as sort of like blackmail leverage. Is like, no, we will not continue this discussion later on unless you want me to tell your mom how you really know me. Great. So you're going to come over to my place and we're going to work on our projects, work on my ideas. Cool. See you then. So then Riri goes out with Natalie. That scene was completely boring. They talk in the park, and then they go over to Gary's workshop where Riri has a panic attack because she's flashing back to the literal drive-by that Natalie and Gary got killed in. So Riri goes over to Joe's. He has a whole mess in his kitchen because he's experimenting on himself. He completely cut open his own arm and implanted stuff in there. Makes me wonder if he'll become the supervillain from the comics that he is. Because Riri, I think looking for peroxide, trying to help him, she picks up a literal Ziploc bag with like what looks like flour in it. And he's just like, can you please put down Dad? Joe keeps his father's ashes in a Ziploc bag in the kitchen. What the hell? Riri's rightfully like, why do you have that? She drops the bag, literally spills a little bit of her father on the floor, and he just vacuums it up and dumps it back into the bag. And he even has his father's name taped onto the bag. Riri sees the name and she's just like, wait a second, your father's name is Obadiah S? Obadiah is a very common name. No, it's not. Obadiah Stane, as in the COO of Stark Industries, as in whatever else she said. And then while she was saying that, she pulled out her phone like, as in Obadiah Stane who died in a plane accident? That Obadiah Stane? When did she have time to type that out? Unless she knows exactly where the keyboard is on her phone and typed it out perfectly, tapping on the perfect website without even looking at her phone. So apparently in the MCU, they believe that Obadiah Stane died in a plane accident. Not the fact that he was trying to kill Tony Stark. But Joe knows that. He's just like, my dad didn't die in a plane accident. That's a lie. My dad died trying to kill Tony Stark because he went supervillain, and I'm spent my entire life not being him. Riri asks who Joe really is, and we finally learn Joe's real identity. He is not Joe. He is Ezekiel Ezekiel Stane, son of Obadiah Stane. So we finally learn who Joe is. So they bond. Dialogue I'm not gonna bother mentioning. Joe's just... I'm still calling him Joe. Ezekiel's like, are we friends? And she really doesn't answer. Well, it's time for her to go do that heist, so they go over to that island. Riri actually has a plan. So the island where the guy, the rich guy, just grows a bunch of plants, has a foreign object detector, so that foreign objects don't make it in to affect the growth of the plants. So blades, metals, an iron suit won't cut it. Riri plans to cut off a piece of the hood so that she can study it, figure out what it is. So Joe, or Ezekiel, had this plan, has this idea for a skin graft. Riri can use that to cover up a little bit of a gadget to cut off a piece of the hood. Joe, or I keep calling him Joe, Ezekiel is just like, I don't want to be my father. If I'm caught, if you're caught, then it'll trace back to me and I will be a criminal. Please, do not let this go south and let it trace back to me. She said, I swear. So yeah, Riri now has a skin graft to cover up a little laser thing. She plans to cut off a piece of the hood to examine. So during the heist, she leaves the suit, sneaks underwater into the facility like that one mission in GTA 5 where you play as Michael. So she makes it inside, everyone has their roles, of course, and of course the lesbian twins managed to fight off every single security guard with ease. So yeah, blah blah blah, everyone does their own thing, yada yada yada. Riri causes trouble 2 heists in a row. So whoever this billionaire is, I can't even be bothered to remember his name, the Hood and him have a discussion like, hey, I know you're there. I know someone like you, it's all about the money. Here's a check. It's not about the money. Oh, come on, it's all about the money. While this little back and forth, Riri sneaks in, tries to use her skin graft covered laser to cut off a piece of the hood. I keep thinking the hood is kind of sentient, as if it's a cloak of levitation, but it's not. It seems like it's just a supernatural, super-powered piece of article of clothing. While Natalie's out, While Riri's out, Natalie takes over the suit. Well, she actually triggers the alarms, shutting off the entire island, and then a bunch of CO2, carbon dioxide, is sprayed onto the plants. You know, because plants need carbon dioxide, the stuff that we exhale. The plants need it, but we as humans don't. That's why we exhale it, that's why we get rid of it. And we kind of can't breathe it in. So anyone who's locked in will suffocate. Because there's no oxygen, there's only carbon dioxide. So the entire crew gets trapped in, they slowly suffocate. Man, if only each and every one of them died. If only. Not everything has a happy ending, but whatever. None of these characters are likable. None of these characters are good. Nobody would care if these characters were killed off. So Riri tries to sneak out, but then she's actually caught by John. And John recognizes that Riri has a piece of the hood, but no Parker. So John, being Parker's cousin, is like, I knew you were trouble. I'm gonna kill you now. We don't cover up loose ends. Oh yeah, also Rampage is dead. Riri got questioned that by the cops, like she was the last known contact of his. So they took out Rampage because he was a loose end as well. And John takes his time to kill Riri? I thought he was a master thrower of knives. I thought he could throw knives. That's kind of what we've seen him do this whole time. And yet he doesn't do that to Riri? Despite noticing there were a lot of opportunities for him to do so. Instead, he just tries to pin her down and stab her instead of throwing a knife at her to prevent her from getting away. Okay, whatever. They fight. Eventually, Natalie brings a suit over to Riri. I gotta say, that suit up was pretty clean. As well as the fact that when they left for their heist, Riri flew in with the suit, and then the suit opened up and she came out. That was clean as well, I'll give them that. You know, we missed seeing suit-ups like that. We haven't seen that since Civil War and Spider-Man Homecoming. But yeah, Riri left, the door sealed, John is left inside with no oxygen, just carbon dioxide. Well, the alarms have been triggered. Oh yeah, Parker also killed that rich guy as well as took down a bunch of his security guards, whatever. It's time to leave. They're leaving by boat, but no sign of John. Parker asks Riri to go find him. She can use her scan. And she tells Parker, John's in one of the green rooms, in the greenhouses, but he's not moving. I'm so sorry. So he's dead. Oh boy, Riri's done it this time, because the end of the episode, Riri panics about the fact that she got someone killed. Parker's angry, throwing his hood, screaming like, we're done. I'm done with you. Was this part of the plan for John to die? We don't know who he's screaming at, but goddammit, we know who he's screaming at. He's screaming at Mephisto. We see this shadow tower over Parker, but we don't see what's causing the shadow. And Riri, she's panicking. Nat is trying to calm her down. And then there's this one line that I saw Nerdrotic point out. It's like, well, at least she admits it. Nat's like, Riri, are you good? Riri's just like, no, I'm not. Well, at least in the show, she admitted herself that she's not good, right? For the most part, that's the episode. There was also this small scene where Riri gives Zay a new set of headphones, whatever. Yeah, there you go. Like I said, it was the best episode yet, but that's not a high bar to cross. I just want to see Mephisto, you know? But yeah, Riri's really done it now. She claims to be a hero. She wants to do good. Yeah, that's totally why she joined up with a group of criminals to do heists and steal. Even if she wants out, well, now she's associated with a group who will not hesitate to kill and cut off loose ends, as well as the fact that she is basically responsible for getting someone killed. One of the group members. Well, if they ever find out, then she's kind of screwed. I mean, we'll have to see. There's only two people who know, two quote-unquote people, that being Riri and Natalie. So unless Riri's guilt gets to her and she confesses, I'm the one who's responsible for your cousin's death, Parker. Or if the AI, Natalie, somehow screws up and spills the beans, then we're screwed. I think my computer just crashed. Oh, nope, there we go, it's fine. It froze for a second. Anyway, there's your Iron Heart. Let's talk about Squid Game. I really gotta sign into... I really need the episode on for this one, because this episode, the plot was all over the place. Ooh, what am I seeing? Hold on. What is this news about the Sandman I'm seeing? Oh, the Sandman Season 2 came out today? I didn't know that. Oh, I gotta watch that. Sandman Season 1 was amazing. I'm seeing reports now, like how involved was Neil Gaiman in Sandman Season 2. Oh, I didn't know Sandman Season 2 was coming out. Wait, was there a trailer? Did I miss this? Hold on. Oh, I completely missed this. There was a Sandman Season 2 trailer 2 weeks ago. Oh, I didn't know that. I completely missed this. Oh, even better, Sandman Season 2 has come out. Amazing. However, I see out of 8 episodes in Season 2, 6 came out today. And the last 2 are going to come out in 3 weeks? I see here, episodes 1 to 6 came out on July 3rd. Episodes 7 and 8 are going to come out on July 24th. That's weird, but alright. Ooh, I didn't know Sandman was out. Oh, I gotta watch that. Oh, now I'm excited for Sandman Season 2. I will watch that in due time. Season 1 was amazing. If you haven't seen Sandman Season 1, definitely watch it. It is great. I gotta text a certain someone about this first. I don't think neither of us discussed Sandman. Alright, let me just pull up the Squid Game episode real quick, because this episode, to me, was excellent. However, the story was all over the place, just because it followed so many characters. And you know what? I'm gonna try this time to actually say these characters' names. Yes, Sandman Season 2. Alright, I gotta look up the cast list for Squid Game, because I need the characters' names in front of me. Hilariously, right here on the front page of Google, it says Tom Choi plays frontman. No, I don't think that's the case. So I watched this episode last night, and while I was watching the episode, there was actually a house centipede on the ceiling in this room. Thankfully, I got it, though. With enough patience, it came down to a good enough spot for me to actually trap it in a jar. Oh, I am watching the wrong episode. Hold on. No, wrong episode. Episode 3 was starting. Alright, episode 2 of Season 3. This episode, in my opinion, was excellent. It was a very good episode. My eyes were glued to the screen the entire time. I was told that only the ending to the whole show is bad. The episodes alone are pretty good, is what I've been told, but it's just the ending that ruins it all. So I will have to wait and see just how bad the ending is. Okay, I need to look up the cast list so I can know the characters' names. This is not easy to do. Just never watch the ending. You know, there's actually that too, because this will be the last time where I enjoy the show without knowing what's coming. I thought this episode was really good. I'm excited for what comes after, but this will be the last time. Once I watch the next episode, that feeling will be gone. And then once I watch the ending, anytime I rewatch the show, I will know, well, this is the end game. That's the horrible ending that we're building up to. Alright, so the beginning of this episode actually opens up with a scene that does not follow up for the rest of the episode. Beginning of the episode, we open with No-Ul. I'm trying my best with these Korean names. No-Ul being able to save Gyeong-sok. You know, the lady who works as one of the soldiers. She managed to save the guy who's a father with the very sick daughter. She actually breaks her promise to the surgeon. You know, she's just like, if you want to live, save this man and I won't kill you. Well, she saved him, and she still killed him. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I would have done the same. So, before Gyeong-seok, before that guy, before the father, wakes up, she puts her mask back on to hide her identity. And she's trying to ensure him, I'm trying to save your life. Thankfully, though, these other workers here have masks and uniforms, so they can easily sneak her out. Well, that's the opening scene, and that scene does not relate to the rest of the episode whatsoever. So this is the infamous hide-and-seek game. Now, the little area that they're actually playing the game, there's not a lot of hiding spots. It's a big maze designed as like a back alleyway playground that kids used to play in. Well, you know, I'm not saying that kids often play in back alleyways, but you know what I'm trying to say. It's designed like a neighborhood alleyway where kids would play. So we start off with everyone going in. We have, what the hell were these characters' names? This is hard. So I see this guy's name is Jun-Ho, the guy who, you know, the crypto scammer guy. The guy who is the father to the baby. So we see Jun-Ho, and what the fuck was this other guy's name? It is so hard to find these characters' names. This is why I just call them by descriptions, because you can easily understand then. Not only do I not know the actors' names, I need to scroll until I see them so I can see the character's name. You know what? Fuck it. This is taking too long. The hell with trying to pronounce their characters' names. I'm just gonna call them by the code names I've given them. So the crypto scammer guy actually teamed up with the guy who was following Thanos around, his second hand. And once again, I'm just like, you absolute buffoon. When he offered to have the two of you team up to make killing someone easier, you absolutely should have been like, I will team up with you on one condition. We find her, and she is off limits to kill. Would have been an easy deal right there. But nope, this moron didn't think about it. So, this guy, I forget his name, he takes more of Thanos' edibles or whatever, his pills. I'll be honest, they just look like chalky candies, you know, the candies that no one ever buys at grocery stores. Kind of like Pez. That's what they kind of look like. A Pez dispenser. And then he literally references Thanos. Not the guy, not T.O.P., but literally the Mad Titan. Because he's just like, let's go kill half of humanity. You gotta love it. The fact that they reference Thanos. The fact that the character calls himself Thanos. So this place is basically a maze with a bunch of doors that people can hide in. Everyone on the blue team has keys which can unlock certain doors. There's actually 3 keys. The actual keys have a square, triangle, or circle head. Some doors you cannot open unless you have the right key for the door. We see in this episode people try to sneak around. So the shaman lady has her own cult following. And these people, I'm just thinking like, she, with her bullshit shaman psychic powers, she's just like, quiet. The spirits are guiding me. I hear the dead souls in here. They're telling me which door to go. And then these people are just like, can you... Speaking in full volume 2, they're like, can you really find the exit? I'm just like, shut the fuck up. You're alerting the killers where you are. Why are you speaking so loudly? Shut the hell up. At least whisper it to her. Whatever. The idiots. I get they're fearing for their lives, but like, you gotta think smart, you know? Anyway, she, with her bullshit, is like, this way. And then we find out later on that was all lies. So we see the old guy, you know, now that he's on the other side, he's scared for his life. We see our main 3 characters. Yeah, I'm not even going to try their names. The trans person, the pregnant lady, and the mother, the old lady mother. The 3 of them, they met up, teamed up, and they realized they have one of each key. So the trans person, I'm so sorry that's how I describe this person, but that's literally this person. That's literally, in the show, this character. Like, out of all characters in this show, I describe someone as the trans person, you instantly know who I'm talking about. There's only one trans person here. So, yeah, I don't even remember this person's name, sorry. So this person offers to hold all 3 keys, which I suppose would be pretty efficient for one person of the group to have all 3 keys. And unlike the malicious people in this show, these people are actually trustworthy. You know, you can trust this person won't backstab you. Now, this person's name I can actually pronounce because it's actually quite simple. So, Daeho, the guy who, you know, was scared to bring back the magazines, and the person who is on Gi-hun's #1 kill list. I don't really understand this scene. It doesn't really make a lot of sense. So, Gi-hun spots Daeho. He runs after him. But because Gi-hun is a good person at heart, he hesitates and does not kill him initially. He lets Daeho run off. Gi-hun is contemplating what he's doing. Daeho opens a door that just straight up looks like the back rooms. It's a big hole with a bunch of doors that lead into it. But then Daeho runs off and he appears at another door right in front of Gi-hun, like awfully fast. In the amount of time we saw, there's no way Daeho ran all the way around and to one floor lower. So I don't understand. Did Gi-hun hallucinate? Well, the explanation of this place being magical and physics not applying, that does not count, because this is a very grounded show. It's not that kind of show. So that option's off the table. Either Gi-hun hallucinated, or Daeho really ran that fast. I don't know. It's not clear. I thought that was pretty strange. Out of everything in the show, that's what's strange. However, regardless of if Gi-hun hallucinated or not, Gi-hun may have hesitated at first to kill off Daeho if that was real and not a hallucination. He still ultimately decides that he will kill him. Because whether he wants to or not, he has to. Remember, the rules of this game, if you're a hunter, you're one of the seekers, you need to kill someone to progress. If you don't kill someone, you don't pass, meaning you die, you lose. So Gi-hun needs to kill someone. And we know that will break Gi-hun, because he's a good person. We've never seen Gi-hun kill before. He's been prepared to kill, given we've seen how many guns he stocked up at the beginning of Season 2. However, he's never actually killed someone himself. I have to say, like, before we continue, I have to say, in my opinion, this episode's writing was excellent. I imagine it was very difficult to write this episode, actually. But the episode story we got, in my opinion, was actually pretty excellent. Because they actually find a way to put our characters in very, very bad situations. Very bad positions. Where there's no morally correct answer. You just do what you have to do to survive. No matter what you do, you're still in the wrong. I like that. I like that a lot of choices made in this episode are gray, not just black and white. Anyway, so I forget this guy's name. The son. The son who traded places with his mother. So he, instead, will kill someone instead of his mother. He very hesitantly walks around trying to find someone. So we have to see, is he capable? If he finds someone, is he capable? So we see Crypto Scammer as well as Thanos Wannabe. They actually run after this guy. And like you know, Thanos Grunt said, not like the blue team is going to just lie down and let themselves be killed. So 2 going up against 1 makes it much easier. So they actually wound him to the point. He even tries to reason with them, like, please spare me. I have a wife and kid, I beg you. Listen, buddy, I'm sorry, but you gotta go. I'm sorry, but I can't spare you. So this guy was about to kill him, but then Crypto Scammer is just like, wait. He's just like, why? Because, you know, at first, we thought he was going to reason with him, like, because he too will be a father. He wanted to maybe convince him to spare him, but no, turns out not. Is this tilted? How'd that happen? He's actually worried, like, if you kill him, then you pass. And then you just leave me behind. We obviously can't let me kill him first either, because then I will be able to move on, but you can't. So they come up with the idea, let's both kill him at the same time. So it counts as 0.5 of a kill for each of us, and then we each together kill another person at the same time, so it counts as we both killed one person. Okay, whatever you say. And then these guys menacingly creep up with their knives, stab him in the chest. Me personally, I would have done it in the neck, just to make it a little bit quicker. That or, you know, try my best to aim for the eyeball. Like, unless I'm in a fight and struggling, unless that's the case, I will shank you to death. But, you know, if you're wounded and you're down, I'll at least try to make it quick, you know. A stab to the heart is quick, but, you know, not quick to the point of getting stabbed in the neck. And I'm not even talking about having a throat slit. I'm talking like clean through the neck, right across. Or in the eyeball, that works too, I suppose. Sure, you might feel for a split second of excruciating pain as your eyeball gets cut in half, but, you know, shh, it's going to end soon. Well, actually, once they kill that guy, he actually drops Thanos' cross with the drugs in it, and Minsu finds it. Minsu finds it, hearing his taunting words in his head, and he actually takes one. I suppose it's a good thing Minsu did, because he's way too shy and timid to actually pursue and run after someone and actually kill them. So anyways, the trans guy offers to fight this person who, you know, who's just like, move out of my way. Just let me kill the girl. Or the old lady, because they're easier targets. So they fight. The rule is killers cannot kill other killers, but there's no rule against the blue team killing the red team. So now trans person has a knife of his own because he managed to kill the other guy. So they now have all 3 keys and a weapon to defend themselves. Better than nothing, I suppose. So the old guy teamed up with this background character nobody knows. He actually sacrifices him, pushing him into the door, holding the door shut. And he just hears the guy on the other side get brutally killed. All while he holds the door closed to save his own life. Listen, I may not like the character, but you gotta do what you gotta do, right? Especially in this scenario. So, Crypto Scammer guy and Thanos wannabe, they killed another guy. So it's announced on the PA system that this person passed. Remember, he made a promise to the pregnant girl. Like, once I pass, I will find you and I will protect you. I will, you know, I will come for you. So she has faith that'll be the case. She wants to wait until he finds them, but, you know, she gets told, don't count on that. It's amazing here. The chances of him finding you are pretty low. So they actually crypto scammed. That's all. I freaking describe him like that. Crypto scammer guy and Thanos dude. They actually hatch another plan. Mostly because Thanos wannabe just has an unquenchable thirst for a bloodlust. He just wants to kill everyone he finds. And he actually, and I'm surprised, they actually bring up a very good point. If we kill more of the blue team, that leaves less blue for red to kill. And that means if the red doesn't kill someone, they don't get to move on, meaning they'll be eliminated from the game as well. So more money for us. We already passed, right? We already killed someone, we already won, we already passed. There's no rules saying we can't stay and kill more. So if we stay and kill more, eliminate more blues, gives red less chance to continue, and yes, my voice cracked, then that means even more players will be eliminated. Thus, more prize money for us, and also less competition. I gotta say, that's actually a very good plan. And so Crypto Scam Guy, he actually goes through with it. He actually agrees. Alright, let's stay and kill as many as we can. He mostly wants to do that just so he can stay in the game and look for his girl. Well, we also don't really follow Gi-hun all that much in this episode. Gi-hun is heavily searching for Daeho. Daeho runs for his life. This guy is in hot pursuit. He managed to get the upper hand, pushing him down a flight of stairs. The killer gets knocked out unconscious. Daeho gets injured in the process. He gets stabbed in the leg. And while the killer fell down the stairs, his blade broke. The actual blade portion snaps off of the handle. So Daeho grabs that and carries it. So now he has a weapon. Makes me wonder if Daeho ever trips and then that thing just stabs himself. Well, that would just be unfortunate. So the girl is very uncomfortable with her pregnancy, so she needs to rest. They find a small little room that they have all 3 keys, so they can open it. I would think that you would keep the door closed behind you, but whatever. Wait, is it the scene where it happens? Yeah, it is. Worst possible timing ever, her fucking water breaks, so she's going into labor now. And, hold on, I have the episode pulled up in front of me. How much time do they have left? They have 15 minutes left. If players do not kill someone in those 15 minutes, they lose. If people don't escape with their keys, they also lose. She has 15 minutes to give birth and get out of there. 15 minutes to give birth to a child and find the exit. Otherwise, she loses and dies. Correct me if I'm wrong, doesn't labor take like several hours? That's one thing I don't think movies and shows depict properly, is just how long labor takes. Labor could take like maybe 12 hours. It's possible. Usually in movies and TV shows, you just see someone give birth in like 30 seconds. Remember that scene in, I think it was Insidious, where Sydney Sweeney just screams her lungs out and pops out a baby? Anyways, yeah, she has 15 minutes to give birth and get out of there. Of course her water breaks at this moment. Of course it does. Call me crazy. I didn't think her belly looked that big. You know how big pregnant bellies get? Hers look not that big whatsoever. In fact, in Season 2, when we meet the character, she barely looked pregnant whatsoever. Until it's actually said. So I would not have guessed she was that late into her pregnancy. Then again, you never know. Early births is possible. So we see the son. He actually finds someone cowering in fear, so a very easy target to kill. However, he hesitates. The guy attacks. The guy actually gets the upper hand. He gets his hand on the knife and almost kills him instead. But then another red team member swoops in for the kill, and so he passes instead, the other guy. And so the winning guy, on his way out, steps and breaks his glasses. I'm just like, oh, come on, man. That's a dick move. I'll give you the benefit of the doubt and brush it off as an accident, but still, like, it's a dick move, man. This scene was pretty funny. So the shaman lady just leads them back to the same spot despite claiming, "The spirits guide me to the exit. I shall guide you as well to your salvation." Well, she opens one of the doors, walks out, closes the door, and runs for her life. Cartoon fashion, opens the door, sees what's in there. Nope, never mind, let me close the door. She walks back out, closes the door. Like, what was in there? It's a crypto scammer guy and the Thanos guy, and they come back out and kill more people. Well, the shaman lady actually runs into Gihun of all people. We know that Gihun doesn't like the shaman lady. And the whole time, anytime Gihun is on screen, we also see the fact that the frontman is watching particularly Gihun. Frontman is only watching Gihun because the frontman knows. That's why I like the writing in this episode. The frontman knows Gihun is a good person. The frontman knows that Gihun is not the type of person to kill. However, frontman has broken Gihun very much up to this point with his manipulation, and the game requires Gihun to kill if he wants to move on and live. So frontman is carefully watching Gihun, watching until the moment he takes a life. And also, now that the shaman lady's in front of Gihun, this fucking idiot can never say the right thing. And we see this happen to her later on as well. I have the episode right in front of me. This idiot in front of Gihun, you know, a guy who does not like her, a guy who has to kill someone in order to move on. And her train of thought is to insult him. It's like, you think you can harm me? You dumb piece of shit? And then as Gihun gets closer with the knife, she's just like, don't do this. I can help you. You want Daeho, right? I saw him. He's injured. Follow the trail of blood. What can I even say about this character, right? She's so annoying. She says the wrong things all the time, and yet she gets away with it like the slippery snake that she is. She manages to get Gihun to not kill her because he has his sights set on Daeho. Whatever. After Gihun leaves her alone, she actually, miraculously, finds the exit. However, it turns out, in order to win the game and leave, you need all 3 keys. So if you found the exit, you're not done yet. You still need to go back out there, continue to risk your life, until you find all 3 keys, and then you can win. Well, she actually leaves. She sees a dead body to try to find the key, but it's the wrong key, so she needs to keep going. But in order to make sure that she remembers her path in this maze back to the exit, she uses blood and paints arrows to tell her how to get back. So the old guy, he really lucked out. What a case of plot armor, I tell you. Because he lies down next to another dead body, smearing the blood on himself to make it look like he's been killed. So the crypto scammer guy and the Thanos wannabe, they come over. And because this guy is high and crazy, he's just like, are you sleeping? Are you sleeping? Or are you really dead? And then he stabs the dead body beside him to see. Right as he's about to to stab the old guy pretending to be dead, crypto scammer guy's just like, I got no time for this, come on. Walks away and he's just like, hey, wait for me. Just before he's able to stab him in the neck. So this guy got so lucky. Right at that time, the shaman lady finds him and then they decide to team up because this guy right now has 2 keys, I think. Yeah, 2 keys, which is exactly the keys that she needs. So they decide to team up so that, you know, she claims she knows the exit and needs all 3 keys, and you have all 3 keys, so let's go. And this lady just cannot drop the act for even a moment. He questions, do you really know where the exit is? And she's just like, yes, the gods of heaven and earth have told me where it is. Meanwhile, she's really just looking at the arrows she painted to find her way back. This fucking lady. I swear to God, I hate her character so much. Alright, so this girl actually managed to give birth in like 5 minutes. Without screaming her lungs out too. You know, pregnancy, giving birth, that's painful. You hear lots of screaming, you know? She actually managed to give birth in 5 minutes and not scream to the point it alerted their location. I mean, yeah, she had something in her mouth to try to clench onto to ease the pain, but you know what I mean, right? At this point, I kind of thought the episode, they were going in a direction where she actually dies from childbirth. I thought they were going there. But nope, she's fine. So the old lady mother actually uses the blade she uses as her hairpin or whatever to cut the umbilical cord. And you know what? I gotta give this show a compliment here. That is a very, very excellent CGI baby. It is very realistic. I'm assuming it's a CGI baby because there's just a hint of something that looks off with it, you know, like all CGI does. There's just a hint of something that doesn't look real to it. And also, I doubt they used an actual newborn baby for that, or even just an actual baby, you know, because that baby is tiny. That if they use a real life baby, that baby could not have been more than like a week old. That baby is tiny. I doubt they used a real baby. So I gotta say, that is a very good CGI baby. She cuts the umbilical cord, which, okay. I kind of feel like you may have wanted to cut it a little bit closer, but then again, I don't know. And now that she's done giving birth, she doesn't look like she lost a lot of blood. From my understanding, there's a lot of blood loss in childbirth, I think. I'm not too sure about that. Oh yeah, she also sprained her ankle, potentially fracturing it too. So she fractured her ankle. She just gave birth in 5 minutes. She barely has time to admire her child. And now she has to get up and leave. You know, when my mom gave birth to me, she told me she wasn't able to walk anymore. Obviously, that was temporary, but like right after I was born, my mom said she wasn't able to walk for a time. To the point my dad and grandma had to together carry my mom out of the hospital. So my mom wasn't able to walk after I was born. This girl, on the other hand, she gave birth in 5 minutes and immediately has to get back up. So this red team guy gets up, sees the three of them, and we get another fight between this person and the trans person. The fight actually leads our character to the exit. So he discovers that it needs 3 keys. He opens the door, and then it's just a golden light welcoming him as if he just discovered the Ark of the Covenant. Like, it's pretty hilarious how he opens the door to the exit and there's this golden shining light welcoming him as if he just entered heaven. And we don't even see the other side in this episode, like what the actual victory looks like. We don't ever see the camera pan over. Anyways, he got injured in the process. He limps over to his friends telling them, "I found the exit." But I instantly recognized the setting. It was too happy. It was too quiet. It was too calm. He tells his friends, "I found the exit." And then he gets stabbed in the back. Surprise stab. and he gets killed. Of course, they obscure the face of who killed him for a brief moment. At first, I kind of thought it was Min-Su, because we haven't followed up with him yet, ever since he took one of Thanos' pills. But no, once our character falls to the ground and dies, it's revealed it's the crypto scammer. The woman that he promised to come and find, the woman pregnant with their baby, she just witnessed him kill her friend right in front of her. He also sees that his newborn child is here. The thing is, it's nobody's fault. He didn't know it was her. He didn't know the person he needed to find was right there. He didn't know. And, you know, she's blaming him because, remember, she heard on the announcements that he had won. He already killed someone and he's free to go. So why did he kill another person, right? She doesn't know that. She already hates him enough, but now that he killed her friend in front of her, oh my goodness, so much drama. That's why I say this actually is a very excellently written episode. So, I can't believe I'm saying this, our favorite trans character has been killed, and we're all sad about it. Not a whole lot of other shows or movies I can actually say that about. So, Gi-hun follows the blood trails and actually pursues Daeho. And, the show actually cuts away from that for a bit. The old lady and the newborn, the newly given birth mother, they decide to go for the exit because it should be close by and we don't have a lot of time. Shaman lady and the old guy, they actually do find the exit. Oh god, I didn't reset over the shiny, did I? You say nice shiny, but oh, I'm too busy rambling. Maybe I reset over it. I didn't, right? Well, even if I did, nothing I can do about it now. Alright, so they find the exit. Maybe it's for the best. I didn't actually reset over it, did I? Well, nothing I can do about it now. So the shaman lady and the old guy actually find the exit. They open the door and then they actually get basked in the golden light. I may hate both of these characters, but I gotta respect what the old guy did. He actually tosses her back, steals one of the keys so that she can't open the door and win, and closes the door on her. So she just led this guy to victory, while she got duped. I may hate both these characters, but you know what? I gotta respect it. And now that she's trapped, Min-Su, high out of his mind, finds her. He's actually asking around like, have you seen C-Mai, whatever her name is, however you pronounce it? Because the drugs have messed with his mind, so he thinks like, I gotta find her. I gotta help her. She's in danger. So the shaman lady, being the dumbass that she is, running that mouth of hers all the damn time like she did with Gi-hun just earlier in this episode, she looks at Min-Su and she's just like, how dare you? How dare you, you shameless leech! You know, she just insults him. And then, you know, he hallucinates the Thanos guy and his taunting words, and he stabs her, mistaking her for him. So her dumbass running her mouth, got herself killed. She should have been like, you're looking for Simai? Oh, she's over there. See, she's right over there. Run over to her. Idiot. Instead, you taunted him, and then he killed you. Absolute idiot. But you know what? Good riddance. I hated the character anyways. So, Daeho is pleading for his life in front of Gi-hun like he should have done at the beginning instead of insulting him. You know, the blame game back and forth is like, it's your fault. No, it's your fault. But because Gi-hun, you know, he's hesitant to kill, Daeho has a blade in his pocket and he attacks him instead. So now the chase is back on. So, the mother, the old lady mother, and the new mother who just gave birth. They're literally one step away from exiting and winning. However, the son shows up. And he's just like, Mom, I couldn't do it. I couldn't find anyone to kill. Move aside and let me kill her. Because if not, I will die. The mother can't allow this because, you know, she's a new mother. She just gave birth not even 10 minutes ago. She can't let this happen. But he's just like, Mom, listen to me. If you don't let me kill her, I will die. Your son, right here, will die if you don't let me kill her. And she's just like, kill me, son. Son, stab me. Take that knife and stab me. You know, I've lived a long enough life. You need to survive, son. You cannot kill her because she just gave birth. She has a baby with her. Kill me. But understandably, he can't do that. He can't kill his own mother. So he pushes his mother aside and he tries to kill the girl who just gave birth. But his mother cannot allow this. So she stabs him in the back, literally and figuratively. He has seconds to kill someone or else he loses and dies. But he is in shock that his own mother betrayed him. And wouldn't you know it, time's up. Her son lost. Her son lost, and only now she's really taking in what she has done. She sacrificed her own son so that this girl she met a couple days ago, technically, and her newborn baby can live. She sacrificed her own son. When the guards come in, she pleads, begs, like, don't do this to my son, take me instead. But then, sadly, off screen, they shoot her son right in front of her. Oh, that's brutal. The writing in this episode's actually fantastic. We also see Gi-hun, you know, he does catch up to Daeho. He actually chokes him out, because even I myself, watching this episode, I could not see Gi-hun kill anyone, even Daeho, with a knife. He instead actually chokes Daeho to death. So Gi-hun actually still kills and wins. But it's... And also Frontman watches as well. Frontman is watching Gi-hun kill for the first time. Gi-hun is actually pretty broken about this too. He realized what he's done. And also he realized, or he finally admits, it's not Daeho's fault, it's his fault. It's not Daeho's fault that all those people died because he cowered in fear and did not bring back the magazines. Gi-hun finally realizes and admits it's his fault. He caused that, you know, in a way, foolish resistance. He led those soldiers to their death. In a way, it kinda was Gi-hun's fault. accepting that it was his fault and also realizing that he killed for the first time, he actually picks up the blade and almost kills himself. But then the blade is shot out of his hand by the soldiers. Gi-hun cannot die just yet. Any other player, they would have let him die right away. But because it's Gi-hun, no. They got orders to make sure he lives. And for the most part, yeah, there you go. Episode 2 of Squid Game Season 3. I can't stop praising this episode. I feel like this episode was excellent. It was superb. Our characters were put in positions that were very difficult. No right or wrong choices. They just did what they had to do. They had to make executive decisions in a split moment and live with the decision they made. We also lost a lot of characters, not counting, the background characters we don't even know the names of. We lost the shaman lady, we lost Daeho, we lost the trans person, we lost the son. Like, these are some big characters in these 2 seasons. So we only have a handful of main characters left. Obviously, Gi-hun, the girl, the crypto scammer guy, the lady, the old lady, the old guy, Min-soo, to some extent. Oh yeah, there is one thing I forgot to mention about the first episode of Season 3. First episode of Season 3, one thing I forgot to mention. So the soldier, the officer, the person in the reverse Flash suit, the reverse soldier outfit, mostly black with pink lines, that guy, the second in command, he actually informs Frontman that the VIPs are on their way. So we will be seeing VIPs again in this season. I remember a long time ago when Squid Game Season 2 came out. And you know how Google is, how IMDb is. It can be edited by anyone. It was actually said, even if it's incorrect, it was actually said that Min-soo, the very shy and timid guy who somehow survived up to this point, Min-soo is actually VIP, number 3. So people were saying, you're an imposter. You were in Season 1 as one of the VIPs. Obviously, that's not the case. I'd be very surprised if I see that's the case later this season. Okay, well, there you go. Squid Game Season 3, Episode 2. This episode actually took me quite a while to break down, because there's just so much happening. It was an actually really long episode. And like I said earlier, this is the last time I will enjoy this episode without knowing what's coming in the future. Because once I watch the next episode, once I watch the ending, that's it. There's no going back. There is no mind erasing technology to make me forget, so I can relive the story from scratch again. Alright, so let's quickly, because we're running out of time here, let's quickly talk about Gen V Season 1 finale, Episode 8. This episode, to my surprise, was actually kind of short. Minus the credits, this episode was barely half an hour long. Oh, there's a bot bought a band. The bot's name's literally Traumatic Thong. So, Gen V, Season 1 finale. We follow up with the death of Shetty, and our characters are now pretty divided. Kate wants to pretty much tear the school down. She actually intends to free everyone in the woods. Sam actually wants to tag along with her, but our other characters, Jordan, Marie, Emma, they're against it. But because no one is strong enough to take down Sam, they have no choice but to let them pass. So Kate and Sam go down to the woods and freeze everyone. Everyone being 3 people. So from what we saw, there are 2 guards down at the woods. Sam literally punches one person in the face, killing him instantly. He kind of Liu Kang'd him right in the face. And then she controls the other person to let them all out. She controls the other guard to just free everyone, and all he does is push a button on the wall. It was that easy to free them all? You would think this place would need, like, I don't know, 2 different nuclear keys turned at the same time, some sort of passcode, biometric scan, something to free these super-powered, tortured souls. But no, just a button on the wall. No security, no nothing. Pushes a button on the wall, and then they all follow Kate, because, you know, she freed them. Now Kate has an army of her own to attack the school. And then she makes the other guard eat your own hand. And he does. Sam, inside his room, actually hallucinates Luke. And I was meaning to mention this a while ago. I finally realized why Luke looks so familiar. Why I feel like I've seen his face before. He looks like MatPat. Luke looks just like MatPat. He looks more like MatPat than MatPat's son looks like MatPat. What's the guy's name? The actor. Patrick Schwarzenegger is his name. Patrick, you look identical to MatPat. Oh, and I'm seeing here his father is Arnold Schwarzenegger. I didn't know that. The last name kind of gave it away, but you never know. People can have the same last name. I didn't know he was the son of Arnold. Oh, I didn't know that. That's cool. He looks identical to MatPat. Come on, I can't be the only one who sees it. So, Kate has her now 3 minions, and they go on a rampage on the school. There was actually a warning before the episode. The warning was, this episode depicts violence taking place at a school campus. Yeah, you know it's gonna be a good episode if the episode has warnings like that. And also, is it bad if I say, no surprise, this episode takes place in America? Is that bad of me to say? So yeah, we have 3 people going on an absolute rampage in the school. One girl has laser vision, the other guy can teleport, briefly it seems. And the third guy, he has like heat hands as well as like a black canary scream, a black bolt scream. Because he walks out, asks Dusty, is his name, was it Dusty? No, asks, not Dusty, asks, Rufus, asks Rufus, are you a soup? And he's just like, no shit. He then goes to a teacher, asks, are you a soup? She's like, no. He puts his face on her hand and completely scorches her face. Now the students know something's up. So yeah, 3 dangerous soups are going on a rampage at the school. I couldn't really tell if they were attacking only humans or if they were killing soups as well. It was kind of hard to tell. But at the same time, and bad timing, Ashley is on campus having a board meeting with, the rest of the board about who will join the 7. Is this tilted again? How did that happen? Someone actually suggested, one of the board members actually suggested, ever since Translucent died, there's been a hole from the 7. My idea, who I want to replace, who I want to join the 7 is Maverick. I keep forgetting the character's name. Maverick. Who better to replace Translucent than Translucent's son? So I was thinking that. Since the first episode, we've seen this invisible character. A part of me was wondering, is this character related to Translucent? It was never explicitly said until now. So yes, indeed, Maverick is Translucent's son. Remember, I think in Season 2, the funeral, the eulogy Homelander gave to Translucent, Homelander mentioned that he leaves behind a wife and son, I think. Regardless, Translucent had a kid. And now we've met who that kid is, or rather we met the kid back in episode 1. So the social media guy who works at the school, he actually managed to take down one of the soups. He has this like ultra high frequency that only soups can hear. And then he puts this little explosive in her mouth and kills her. But then Kate gets her hands on him. Kate makes him do a live stream, commands him to put that same thing in his own mouth and detonate. So he explodes his own head. Sam goes to the acting class where that director guy, he almost kills the director guy, but then Emma stops him. And then Sam just says a bunch of hurtful things to Emma, breaking her heart. Sam's just like, you're no hero, completely hurting Emma. I don't know if Sam meant it or not, I doubt it. Or I feel like Sam more so wants to push Emma away to protect her. Well, Emma cries because she's heartbroken and sad, and then she shrinks. She shrinks down. And she's just like, what the fuck? This whole time we thought Emma had to eat and throw up to change her body size, but no. It seems like emotion can also affect her body size. Emma is sad and heartbroken, she can also shrink down. Oh yeah, they also devised a plan, as well as that plan went. So, Jordan will go and try to protect as many humans as she can. Emma goes and tries to stop Sam, and Marie needs to go to Dean Shetty's office because there's an emergency button there that will lock down the school. Well, the director guy goes over to where Ashley and the rest of the board members are. He's just like, let me in, or else I will tell everyone what you and I did in the bathroom that one time. Remember when we saw them do that on, I forget which season, of The Boys? So they call for backup. In fact, we actually, for some reason, see backup arrive but not do anything. We see the shadow zoom across, fly across the school. Obviously, it has to be Homelander, but Homelander doesn't show up until the very end of the episode. So Homelander just flies over watching everything unfold like Omni-Man did that one time when Mark was fighting Battle Beast and Machine Head. Omni-Man was just flying there watching. Yeah, Homelander didn't really do anything until the end of the episode, which, spoilers, Homelander makes a cameo at the end of this episode. Oh yeah, also Andre, it's revealed that Andre is at Vought Tower with his dad. So it seems like Vought Tower has been repaired ever since, you know, Soldier Boy exploded right outside in midair. So it turns out that every time Andre's father, Polarity, uses his powers, it like causes brain damage. And supposedly the same thing happens to Andre as well. So Andre's dad is actually offering to have the costume department fix up the suit so that it will no longer fit him, but instead fit Andre. Andre also gets a call from Kate saying like, Shetty's dead, I freed the woods, blah blah blah. And Andre knows he needs to go back to the school to help. Alright, well, a helicopter shows up to pick up the human board members. Oh wait, actually before that. Before that, they actually try to call their candidates to, you know, try to save them. Offer anyone who stops these maniacs from killing and, you know, saving us, they'll be a part of the 7. So Ashley calls Marie and it's like, hey, Marie Monroe, right? It's Ashley Barrett. How you doing? Listen, we've been considering you for a position in the 7. All you need to do is, you know, kill a couple of people going crazy at the school campus, save us, and that position's all yours. Marie's just like, what? Also wants her to kill Kate as well. Not just the psycho soups that were in the woods, but Kate as well, because she is kind of the ringleader. But then, you know, Marie declines because she doesn't want to kill her friend, and then Ashley's like, fine, if you do this, if you save us and kill Kate, I'll get you a meeting with your sister. Now a helicopter arrives to save the humans. Unfortunately, though, the helicopter's attacked. It's about to crash, but Andre shows up and has the helicopter land safely. In the courtyard, Kate, Andre and Marie talk to Kate, and then she actually controls and commands Maverick to attack them. Maverick takes off his hat and glasses, so he's completely invisible. Andre goes after Kate while Marie fights Maverick. Marie, using her now found abilities to track blood, she can see the nervous system. Wait, no, not nervous. She can see the circulatory system, like a vampire can, like Dracula could in Batman vs. Dracula. So she kicks Maverick's ass, and then he turns visible again. Or visible for the first time, and he's been naked this whole time. We see what Maverick looks like for the first time. Well, Andre talks to Kate. Kate almost seems like she's like, okay, we're together. Let's work together. Reaches her hand out to maybe like shake hands, but Andre knows better. Sam actually tackles Andre and then they fight. But then Andre, you know, he picks up one of the guards' tasers and beats Sam. Marie talks to Kate, saying like, they want me to kill you, but I won't. Then what are you going to do, Marie? Because, you know, you're not a person, not to them. You don't kill me, they will make you disappear. Well, Jordan's getting bodied by all 3 villain soups, so Marie needs to go and help. Oh yeah, it's also revealed like why Kate is able to use her power so many more times now. It's because of the pills that Shetty was giving her. It was limiting her. Anyways. So they help take down the soups, but then Kate is about to get her hands on Jordan. So Marie, in panic, she reaches out her hand and explodes Kate's arm. Kate now has lost her left arm. Marie doesn't even know how she did it. It was an accident. If Marie can control this power, like she exploded Rufus's dick and now Kate's arm, she has the potential to explode heads like Victoria Newman does. Well, one of the soups is about to attack the helicopter that Jordan directed all of the humans to go into. So what Marie does is she uses all the blood around her with the dead bodies and then shapes them into blades to stop the soup pursuing the helicopter that's grounded. One would think she would be able to do that sooner. She would have that idea sooner, but whatever. One would think Marie is able to control blood like the way Magneto can make Wolverine stop in place. One would think Marie could do that as well. I will accept that she hasn't learned how to do that yet, but she should be able to do that. She should be able to stop someone moving dead in their tracks and maybe like levitate them like the way Magneto can to Wolverine. Well, after Marie explodes Kate's arm, Homelander shows up, and Homelander's actually not happy with Marie. Homelander's like, do you enjoy hurting your own kind? Homelander heat visions Marie, and then screen cuts to black. We open back up with Homelander watching the news. Godolphin Yu once again has had a spree of murders by these four. Andre, Marie, Jordan, and Emma. These four are the killers who were stopped by the new Guardians of Godolphin, Kate and Sam. So they manipulated the story to tell the public that Kate and Sam are the heroes of Godolphin, and that Marie, Jordan, Emma, and Andre are the villains. Homelander actually smirks and smiles at this news. Marie wakes up. How did she survive a point-blank blast from Homelander's heat vision? Andre's just like, you tanked that like a champ. Anyone else and they would be in the ground. Alright, not really an explanation. They wake up in this room wearing hospital gowns, and then Marie realizes there's no doors. Where are we? And then the episode ends. And that's how season 1 ends. Our characters are captured in a place with no escape. But that's not all. There's a post-credits scene. Someone is down in the woods snooping around. And then it's revealed it's Butcher. Butcher is down investigating the woods. And that's truly where season 1 ends. Alright, up next is season 4 of The Boys. I guess we're gonna go a little longer today because we still got one more to discuss. Give me a second, I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Any shiny? That's not shiny. Okay, we got one more to discuss, being The Boys Presents Diabolical Episode 8, the final episode, because it doesn't seem like we're gonna get a Season 2 of this. And this episode was excellent. Once again, this is the episode, the kind of storytelling I would like to see from an anthology series show. An episode, a story that fills in the gaps. Not random stories like a turd controlling girl or an Asian couple dealing with cancer. No, I want to see our characters and stories that they've been on that are not important to the main show. Like, it's a side story, a fill in the gaps kind of thing. Sure, you can do random characters, one-off episodes every now and then. I would not complain. However, being in an anthology series is just a waste of time if you just give us storylines that nobody cares about. And, you know, if it's based on characters that nobody knows. So this episode is actually a prequel. And the only prequel episode. So that puts it... That's a very easy place to put this. This episode takes place first in the whole timeline so far. We'll have to wait and see about, you know, the other spin-offs. This episode takes place even before Season 1 of The Boys. Because it's a Homelander-centered episode. We start with Stan Edgar actually revealing to the world the newest member of the Seven, the Homelander. This episode takes place early on when Homelander is new. And he was actually known as the Homelander to start. In fact, something Stan Edgar said, I couldn't help but notice. He said, the Homelander group now has, like, another one. Ever since Soldier Boy, the Homelander group has not had another. The Homelander group. That's something new. The Homelander group. Something that even Soldier Boy was a part of. So that's something completely separate from, you know, the Paybacks or the Seven. The Homelander group, and this person is called the Homelander. That's like saying the Avenger is the newest member of the group, the Avengers. Meet the Avenger. Or, you know, later on in the episode, he drops the. You know, he drops the. So he just goes by the Homelander, not the Homelander. So it's like newest member to the Avengers, Avenger. Or newest member to the Justice League, Justice League. So anyways, yeah, Homelander, this is his first time coming out as the hero, as a new hero. And we know Vought, we know they make their heroes read scripts and, you know, have publicity. Homelander telling these lies about, you know, baseball, and when he was young growing up, he would play catch with his father. Throughout the episode, we would actually see Homelander flash back to his horrible childhood, growing up in a lab, being experimented on by doctors, having strength tests. Throughout the episode, we would see glimpses of Homelander's traumatic childhood. So on stage, Homelander, not only was Homelander up there, they also brought out Black Noir. Homelander, you know, having it rough as a child, he likes the cheers that the crowd's giving him. He likes the attention. But the moment Black Noir comes out and the crowd cheers for him, he doesn't like that. So walking in the, you know, the hallway in Vought Tower, I almost said 7 Tower. Walking down that hallway we've always seen in Vought Tower, the assistant lady next to Stan Edgar, whatever her name is. I don't think we learned her name. It wasn't Ashley. At least I don't think. We had Colby voice Ashley in a previous episode, and this didn't sound like her, so I doubt this was Ashley. Oh yeah, speaking of voices, I forgot to mention this. Last episode with John, yeah, whatever, and Sun Hee, I think one of the characters was voiced by Kari Payton. I could instantly recognize his voice, but I forgot to mention it. So she warns that, Homelander, the Homelander, Black Noir is there to watch you, to make sure you don't go off script and to make sure you make the company look good. Because if not, he will deal with you and get rid of you. And then, she puts her fingers on his chest, sliding it down. And it's actually making Homelander uncomfortable to the point he covers his groin. We actually see in this episode, for the very first time, Homelander being innocent. He actually acts like Superman in this episode. He actually acts like an innocent, good person. Not the unhinged psycho that we've come to know and love. He actually starts off wanting to do the right thing. So there was this, terrorist activist group taking over this, nuclear plant or this energy plant, whatever. Homelander, having to follow instructions, is just hostages are in there. Wait for backup for 10 minutes. Homelander deciding, he doesn't want Black Noir to take the shine. He's just those hostages don't have 10 minutes, and then he goes in on his own. So he swiftly deals with a couple of armed people. He's just please, stand down. You will be much safer here. Once, he bends the metal barbs around her to make sure she doesn't get away. And then this other guy runs into Homelander standing still, and he's just oh, fuck, you broke my nose. Technically, you did that, man. And then he goes into the room where, three armed activists, terrorists, have 3 people hostage. Homelander's trying to be please, I don't want to fight. Please let them go, and I promise I will make sure that your cause gets heard in the highest authority, or the highest, whatever. Homelander actually tries to talk and reason with the group to try to save the hostages. But then these guys, they're not buying it. They're just fascist or whatever. So they shoot Homelander, knowing damn well he should be bulletproofed. Come on now. Then again, Homelander has just been announced to the world, so they don't know what his shtick is yet. Homelander uses his super speed, which we barely see him do. So he disarms all of them, grabs all their guns, and just throws it on the ground. He's just okay, stop. Please. One of the guys crouches down and picks the gun back up? And Homelander has super speed this whole time, and he didn't use his super speed to stop him? Whatever. He has another person, a hostage by the neck, by gunpoint, is don't do anything or this person will die. Homelander's just I already disarmed that gun, so you can't even kill that person even if you wanted to. The person's just yeah, but this gun can still explode. I'll take this person's head off. Homelander's just you can't use that gun when it's 1,000 degrees. Laser visions the gun. Yeah, heat and bullets don't match, Heat tends to set off bullets and even make guns explode from time to time. Even they're warning Homelander, no, don't. The gun explodes and blows up the hostage's face. So now the people, the activist group, they're just like, no, why did you do that? We weren't going to kill anyone. We just wanted to make a stand. So all of this chatter is making Homelander flash back to his traumatic childhood. So then he blacks out, and then when he wakes up, everyone's dead. Homelander accidentally killed everyone. Wait, no, that didn't happen yet. So he actually, in a fit of somewhat rage, grabs a girl, grabs one of the terrorists, I guess, pins her to the wall, but then accidentally, dislodges her jaw, just rips it off by accident because of his strength. And now's the time that, because of all the chatter, making him black out, he wakes back up, he gains back consciousness, and he accidentally killed everyone. One girl survived, however, and he's just like, no, wait, it was an accident. Especially because Black Noir was watching. Homelander's just like, I can explain. They had guns, and I tried to stop them. The girl's just like, he killed them all! So then Homelander gets defensive. He's just like, alright, Black Noir, you know what? That's it. That's enough. You think you can be better than me? You think you're gonna replace me? Kick me out of Vought? And then, he tries to pursue Black Noir as he runs for his life. He tries to signal like, wait, that's not, you're misunderstanding. But because he can't talk and Homelander's set in his ways, Black Noir has no choice but to run for his life as Homelander pursues. I couldn't help but notice that, and I can't believe I haven't noticed this parallel until now. Yes, we know that Homelander is a bit of a Superman ripoff, especially in this episode. It took me until now to realize Black Noir is kind of like Batman with his gadgets, his smoke grenades, his throwing weapons. He's kind of like Batman. It took me until now to notice. Homelander and Black Noir are kind of like Superman and Batman. So Black Noir runs for his life, throwing what he can at Homelander. He throws a smoke grenade, and then, there's a shadow amongst that. It's actually one of the innocent people there. Homelander, thinking it's Black Noir, heat visions that direction, and turns out he accidentally killed someone else, lasering that person in half. Black Noir shows up, and he pulls out a notebook and a pencil. I can understand him keeping that on him, on his person at all times, but where did he pull that out of, right? It didn't look like he had any pockets big enough to fit that. So he writes what he wants to tell Homelander on a note, and we actually don't see what he wrote. Unless you pause it and you're able to read what he wrote, because the screen's blurry. I personally didn't do that, because, I have a lot of things to watch. Then again, I probably should have. So Homelander now understands. He then goes in front of the news reporters like, I tried to save them, even the hostages. But the explosion, it killed them all. I'm sorry. I failed you all. News reporters just like, no, you didn't fail us. You tried to save us. So now we see the beginnings of Homelander and Black Noir's friendship that we saw throughout the show. And we also saw just how Homelander started in Vought. Started out in the 7. He used to be good. He used to want to do things the right way, try to de-escalate things instead of just killing everyone. Instead of being, an unhinged psycho. He used to actually want to do things the right way, which is just so sad, given we see what he was like and what he's like now. When he started off in Vought, he was identical to Superman, trying to do things the right way. Just trying to do some good. So yeah. we see in the very last episode of Diabolical just what Homelander was like at the very beginning. Also voiced by Anthony Starr, by the way. At some point in the episode, there was also a picture of this guy, like this baby. I think this new creation of Vought's with a giant head. I think that was the character we saw in episode 1 of Diabolical. The big-brained, like... Shit, what was the villain name in Atomic Betty, the monkey guy? Wait, was it Atomic Betty? Or was it Powerpuff Girls? No, it was Powerpuff Girls. What the hell was this character's name? Mojo Jojo, right. That Mojo Jojo looking character from the first episode of Diabolical, I think that was him. A picture of him, at least, in this episode, which canonically in the timeline takes place way ahead. Anyway, so there you go. Forgive me if I forgot anything. So there, we're done. We have finished with Gen V, we have finished with The Boys Diabolical. Everything in Diabolical was rather easy to place in the timeline. Only outliers were Episode 3 and Episode 8. Episode 8 takes place first in the timeline. Everything else, except for Episode 3, takes place between Seasons 2 and 3. But then Episode 3, that one's harder to place. That one's either not canon or takes place at the very end of the timeline. We'll have to wait and see. I did try thinking, what are the chances that it actually takes place between Seasons 2 and 3? Maybe Maeve wore a new outfit for that period of time. Maybe Butcher shaved his beard between Seasons 2 and 3 and grew it back between seasons. I mean, it's not impossible. A year did pass. Anyways, there you go. So next time I will have another episode of Ironheart and Squid Game to discuss. And next time I should have another episode wait, not another. On top of Ironheart and Squid Game, next time I should have an episode of The Boys Season 4 as well as Arcane Season 2 to discuss. Or, then again, next time before that, I may have something else big to discuss. Because Thunderbolts came out on Disney Plus, and I haven't watched it yet, let alone discussed it. So maybe next time I will have that to discuss instead. However, we'll see. Gotta see if I have time to watch the movie. On top of all the other stuff to watch. Alright, just a little bit and then we're done. I went over today, just for the sake of discussion. Alright, this will be the last one for tonight. And no shiny. Well, I'll see you guys next time.